everybody's back together after 1 week after we did Corey's little birthday thingy. Hi, Corey.
Hi.
That was not little.
It's true. Well, I mean, yeah, it was a little bit expansive. Did you listen to the podcast? Yes, to hear everything?
I skipped to the part about my birthday.
So you skipped the first 30 minutes where we were talking about us being nerdy and geeky.
So I actually listened to it for a while, and then I was like, I'm just going to skip ahead.
I want to hear about me.
Yeah. Well, I want to hear, I assumed you guys are going to be talking a lot of shit, so.
I mean, we did talk some shit.
Yeah.
That does sound like us.
We.
I mean, I did. You did.
I know. I didn't.
Yeah, I seem to remember mostly you.
Well, it's usually me. I'm a shit talker. It's what I do.
Yeah.
But did you have fun for your birthday thing for the listeners?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Favorite part?
Being 35.
Not that. Probably. Well, I mean, my favorite activity thing I did was the it's not D&D, but basically D&D thing I did with Dan and Mike.
Gotcha, bitch.
But my like the coolest moment I think was realizing it wasn't just some, like, I thought you probably helped Janie put something together, but it was Janie's idea. Is what I was thinking in my head. So I was like, "Oh,
it was Janie's idea."
Janie has ideas.
Just relax.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
But in my head, I was like, "Oh, so it's just at the house." So then when I realized it was beyond the house, I was like, "Oh, this is fucking exciting!" Like
I thought it was gonna be different. I thought you were like, "I gotta fucking leave the house." Mm-mm.
See, and
I was so tired because
in the beginning, that's where it started.
Yeah, I was exhausted, and I was like, "Why do I have to do this
How bad would we feel if he just doesn't make it to either one of our houses?" Like, hey, where the fuck is Corey? He was supposed to be here like an hour ago.
Well,
by the way, he went off the road.
One of the clues was we had to solve 3 riddles, which was 10 a.m. 21 Oak, which is my address, and he ended up. And literally, he said the answer, and I was like, "Yep, see you at 10," and I hung up on him. And I didn't hear from him until he got here, so I was like, "Well, I hope he shows up, because if he doesn't..."
Dude, that one was so fucking weird, because you gave me riddles, but it was, like, very fucking specific.
Yeah.
No, it was weird. I know you had to force the 10 a.m.
Yes, I did.
But it did not feel like a natural.
No, but it worked. And we got you here. And then, so he got here and we started playing poker, and he assumed maybe that was it. That was the end of it, until he beat me at poker. And I was like, "Look under your seat." And he's like, there's more? Yeah.
I was like, thank God, because if all this had been a build-up was to sit and play poker with you for half an hour.
How dare you, sir?
Happy birthday!
Yeah.
Now go home.
It's a Friday.
Yeah. But no, it was good. It was good to get everybody together and enjoy it. But yeah, Janie texted me after she gave you the first clue, and she's like, "He said he had a rough night. He's not feeling well." And I went, "Damn it. Like, what are the odds?"
Well, she came in originally and she had bought me a Star Wars shirt for my birthday. So she came in, and this was a couple days after my birthday for anyone listening. But so she just brought in the shirt, like, rolled up, and I was like, "No, I don't need a shirt right fucking now. I'm tired." And then she's like, "No, you got to open it finally." And so I was like, "Ah." And so I opened it, and there was the first clue, but at first, I was just like, "What the fuck? I don't need a shirt. I'm trying to sleep."
You just hurl it at her.
Yeah.
Just like, what the fuck?
Well, I was like, seriously? Why are you bothering me?
Why are you bothering me at 7:30 in the morning? Leave me alone.
Oh, it was earlier than that, but
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Happy birthday. Now that you're
Thank
old.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're the same age as that one.
Yep.
I'll be the youngin' for another less than a month. Yay. All right. So this week we are going to be talking about Mandalorian, which is actually our 3rd or 4th episode talking about Star Wars stuff. I think it's the 4th, right?
May the 4th?
No, although this will be coming out the week for May the 4th, which is very timely of us, because we're good like that. But we did the Star Wars Episode 1 and Star Wars Episode 2.
I'm surprised that they didn't skip a week and release
or start it like a week later so that it would come out then.
So you've known about May the 4th, I assume, for a while, right?
Decade?
Yeah, that it's like a Star Wars day?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Revenge of the 5th?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
I liked that one.
Yeah. I mean, May the 4th works better. Like, I think more people understand that one.
So Revenge of the 5th is going to be on a Saturday this year.
Yeah. That means that's the day you have to watch the shitty prequels.
Oh, is that the day?
Yeah.
What if I don't watch?
You watch the good movies on May the 4th, and then you watch the shitty ones on.
So where do the sequels fall?
You don't watch those.
Yeah, they don't.
You watched them once because you felt obligated, and you never watched them again.
It's the obligation.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we're going to talk about Mandalorian, which is season 3. And I think for all of us, season 1, and we were really excited for season 1 and it to come out, and it was really good. And then season 2, kind of the same thing. Where were you guys on this before season 3 came out? How excited were you for it? Because there's been a little bit of a Star Wars overload lately with the amount of stuff that's come out, from Bad Batch to whatever that Tales of the Jedi to Obi-Wan to yada, yada, yada. So where were you excitement level for this one?
I mean, I'm always excited to watch new Star Wars content. So anytime it comes out, like, I watch all the stuff. I watch Visions. I'm pretty excited for Visions 2 to come out.
Did you watch the Young Jedi Adventures that just came out?
Nope.
It's like geared towards really young kids.
Oh,
I was
I'm
just
sure.
Yeah. Looks
You
really
know, I'll have
with
Ollie
Ollie.
watch that.
There you go. Yeah. It'll be your beard. You can just watch it with him and just like, I'm only watching it for him.
I've been rewatching Rebels to get ready for Ahsoka.
I watched
I
episode
love Rebels.
1, 2, and 3 today at work.
Rebels?
No, just
Of Star Wars?
Star Wars 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
So,
we're playing the if you go on Disney Plus, you can play them in chronological order.
Oh.
Like all the shows and movies and everything.
Right. You can do the same thing with Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's currently playing on the TV. I want to see what episode of The Clone Wars is on by the time we get back to work tomorrow.
Oh, it's still playing?
Oh, yeah.
You just let it go?
All the time, yeah.
Oh, all right.
That's our display TV.
Gotcha. All right.
So we'll probably be like at season 2 Clone Wars by tomorrow.
I would say so. What about you, Corey? What about your excitement level for Mandalorian?
Yeah.
No, Corey, do you also have Clone Wars playing on a TV at your house on display?
Rebels. It was playing today. No, yeah, I don't know. I was excited for it. I mean, I like Mike. I feel like I pretty much am excited for any new Star Wars content. I haven't liked it all, the content. Like, I thought Visions was kind of hit or miss depending on the episode. Tales of the Jedi, there were a couple episodes I didn't really care about, and then there was a bunch of episodes that I really, really liked, like with Count Dooku fighting. Is it what's that name? Yaddle?
Yaddle.
Okay.
Yeah. Master Yaddle.
Yeah. Yoda's boo.
The female, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yoda has a boo?
I don't.
It's not really. It's just another female of that race.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I mean, there are only 2 in the galaxy, so.
Yeah. You see Count Dooku's transition from being a Jedi to going to the dark side.
Yeah.
Or,
Gotcha.
He's on the dark side, but he's technically on the correct side. Like the separatists are the ones that are technically for the Republic, because the Republic is becoming an empire. So, like, technically he's on the right side.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he works under Palpatine, but then comes out and says your Senate is being controlled by a Sith master. And, like, what the hell's Qui-Gon Jinn would have followed him.
Yeah. I
So
guess.
the separatists are technically on the right side.
Only technically?
I mean, eventually they are. Yeah.
Well, they're...
I mean, it really depends how you look at it, because basically all they wanted was freedom from to do what they want. They were capitalists and didn't want to buy into the socialist empire that was the Republic. The banking clans didn't want to, be held up by what the Republic mandated, and so I mean, it just really depends. Like, if you think about it, they were basically the same as the Rebel Alliance was. They just didn't use droids, and they didn't have all the money.
I want money.
I think the droids at first were really cool. Like, in episode 1, they were cool.
They became a joke, though.
Yeah. And then they became stupid.
I mean, you saw the what are they called? Like the big battle droids with the hand
B2s?
cannons. Yeah, and the destroyers were kind of cool.
Yeah,
it was really just the regular battle droids.
So they came
Roger,
out with
Roger.
they came out with a reason behind that. Like when they destroyed the Lucre Hulk, and all of the battle droids like lost their connection to the network all at the same time. Right, like in episode 1, they have the battle at the end.
Yeah.
And Anakin blows up the Lucre Hulk in space.
Yeah.
And they all lose their connection, and they die or become disconnected, and then they lose the battle. After that, the Trade Federation put chips in them to make them semi-autonomous on their own, which also gave them like a quote-unquote personality. That's why they're like
stupid.
Yeah, that's why they're like jokey and shit.
Maybe they should have given them a better personality.
They're not separately connected to the like Trade Federation network. They're like individually run.
And you say you're not a nerd.
I just know Star Wars shit.
Has he said he's not a nerd?
Yeah, during the last podcast, if you listen to all of it, we've established that I think we're all geeky, not nerdy.
True.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the friggin' difference?
Nerdy, you're more considered smart. Geeky, you're more into specific things like this and collectibles and yada yada.
And
see, I always kind of thought of it the other way. Like being nerdy was kind of made trendy and cool because you could be nerdy about like something. You could nerd out about a topic.
I'm just going off of the definition.
But then geeks were like, screech.
Well, geeks like technology and collectibles and stuff like that, which is really more along our lines.
It's true.
Especially you.
And it's just that we have this name for the podcast and we're keeping it. And talking geeky in the bedroom doesn't have the same.
Getting geeky in the bedroom.
Yeah, geeky. That's not bad.
If we would have thought 5
of
seconds.
That's not bad because geeky, freaky. That's not bad.
Took me 5 seconds dirty. And I got there. There's another name right there. See,
getting geeky
and something that you've said many times.
Well, not many. At least 3.
That's true. Yeah, we're 3 kids deep. So. Yeah, for me, my excitement level for this was up there just because the first 2 seasons I really enjoyed, and it's Jon Favreau who has proven himself time and time again for a lot of these stories that he's done. But I was also a little bit worried.
Well, Jon Favreau and what's his name? Dave Filoni. Yeah,
that guy.
Dave Filoni's like Jon Favreau directed and made like great episodes and came up with the idea, like all that, but him and Dave Filoni have worked on it together.
Sure.
Dave Filoni created Rebels and Clone Wars, and he's amazing.
But either way, there's trust there because of what they've done.
Yes.
So I was excited for that part of it, but I was a little bit skeptical because obviously at the end of season 2, you get rid of Grogu, but then he obviously comes back during Boba Fett. So I wasn't really sure exactly what they were going to do. Like it kind of set it up a bit within Boba Fett, but I wasn't sure if that was going to be the whole season or where it was going to go. So I was a little bit skeptical because at least the first 2 seasons, it seemed you had a set story of getting Grogu back to his kind or back to the Jedi. So I wasn't sure. It felt like it was going to be maybe a season without direction, which, yeah. But I was a little bit skeptical on this season compared to the other ones, but still excited to see it. So now that it's over, what did you guys think about the episode?
The season?
Yeah, well, I should say season, yeah. I shouldn't just say episode because there was 8 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's there's a lot of good things I liked about it. I like it all, a lot of the dog fights and like the ship different things, very Star Wars-esque. There's a lot of like parts where I didn't know why they needed it in there, like turning IG-11 into the brain thing from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like,
or that whole quest to get him going to begin with, even before that.
It was more like the way that worked, because they go on, he's like, I'm going to need help. He goes and gets what he needs to rebuild him or whatever. And then he drops off the parts, and then he goes and does the thing that I thought he said he needed help with.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you didn't even need him. And then they come back and, now he's been rebuilt and he's the mayor, the constable of the town.
Oh, at the end, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't understand.
Well, he needed him to go on the planet, but then they ended up using that other R2 unit.
I know, but that's what I don't get. If you could have used an R5 unit, why did you have to get IG? It doesn't make any sense.
He needed a droid in particular.
Yeah,
and that's the only droid that he trusted, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think that's what their story they gave.
That made sense, but then he just ignored that and went anyway without him.
Well, then he got R5 from the girl he kind of trusts.
It just didn't make
ship fixer lady. Also, that montage, Jesus Christ, that was way long.
Which one?
The one of building the ship. It had some cool moments for building the ship, but that montage was just atrocious. It's from Boba Fett.
Oh.
Where they're first creating the ship that he ends up flying. It's like a 15-minute sequence. Yeah. It's like a 15-minute sequence of building that ship that was just like, why is this so long?
It's the eye of the times.
If they were training for, a boxing fight, I might be into that montage.
The Mandalorian ships are really cool. I really like the fact that they scuttled a fleet. Like they have a whole, they use the light cruiser. I'm assuming that's Moff
Gideon?
Moff Gideon's light cruiser.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't think they ever mention one way or the other, but it probably could be.
Well, I mean, the one where he gets captured in, right?
But why would the Mandalorians have it?
Because that's...
They're not the ones who capture him.
The Rebels, the New Republic captured him.
Yeah, but it was Bo-Katan. It was originally her fleet, and then the other guy took it over.
Yep.
And she was on the ship.
When they captured, could be.
I'm assuming she probably took it.
Yeah,
could be.
She's been taking over ships the whole time, like that big when they first meet him, when the Mandalorian first meets Bo-Katan, they're trying to steal the ship.
Yeah, I saw a really funny video with Katie Sackhoff, who plays Bo-Katan.
Is it the one sitting in the chair?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
There's this girl did a thing, and it's like Din Djarin is here, and she's like, "Oh shit!" And
she's like, "I don't know which way to sit or whatever."
Yeah, well, she's getting dressed real quick and runs and sits in the chair.
I saw that.
I'm just casually sitting
here. That's such
a
good video. It's so funny, and I love that she
reacted to it.
And it's like, that is so funny.
Yeah,
because she was just sitting there for that entire time until he showed up. Yeah. So, in general, what about this story compared to the other seasons? Are we thinking this was on par? The worst one out of the three, or where do you guys kind of put it?
It had the worst finale. I'd say that much.
Yeah, it was. The finale didn't really it wasn't it should be like a season finale. You're like, oh my god, that was so crazy. It left so much. You can kind of tell that it was a show ending finale. You can tell that there's not any Mandalorian season 4.
I think there already is going to be a season 4. I think he's already written it.
There is, yeah.
Oh, I thought.
No, he wrote it during post-production of season 3.
But I also was under the impression, because I had this conversation with Corey, that I thought it was over too.
Yeah, I thought
the whole plan was 3 seasons.
He didn't sign up for a 4th. He didn't. He was all his contract was over.
I mean, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
he might not have, but they don't really fucking need him.
I mean,
he's only.
Sure.
The show name is The Mandalorian.
Yeah, but he's not in the suit at all anymore. So all they really need is his voice, as long as he sticks to the way.
He's not in the suit?
No.
Really?
They have other actors. Yeah, all that is just voice acting.
No shit.
Yeah.
Did he used to be in the suit?
Yeah, originally.
Okay.
And they had scenes where he took off his helmet. Remember?
Well, not many.
No, I know, but. I think that was probably him.
There was only one in season 1.
Yeah.
Which he took it off in front of the droid, IG-11 or whatever his name is.
And then he has to redeem himself the whole time.
Yeah, that's not why he has to redeem himself. I thought he took it off for Grogu, and that's why he had to redeem himself.
No, he took it off.
He had to redeem himself because he took it off when he was in...
getting in the firefight with Moff Gideon.
No,
because he took it off there in front of a droid.
He took it off when he was eating with Bill Burr. when they were infiltrating. They were pretending to be Imperials.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And he took it off because he had to, because the commander told him to.
Right.
He didn't want to blow their cover.
But isn't it I don't think he would have had to technically redeem himself for taking it off for IG-11, because IG-11 is a droid, not a human being.
Right. They just can't take it off in front of another being.
Which is
because they take it off to
weird.
eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really weird. Like, you got to sleep in the fucking thing, but you can take it off to eat?
Religion.
How do you shower? God, you must smell like crap.
You only shower when no one's around.
Maybe the suit is self-contained. It takes care of all that for you.
Hopefully it contains the odor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it could wash you. You could dry wash you. Like an astronaut.
So, what about you, Mike? Where do you have it compared to the other seasons?
It's not my favorite season, but like I said, there's a lot of cool things I like about it. I like the overall storyline. I knew that's where they were going with it, like going back to Mandalore.
Yeah.
And like you actually see Mandalore in this one. You see the Mythosaur. You get to see Bo-Katan using the dark saber, which is really cool.
Yeah, that was a cool part. And I like that he still had struggled with it, and she just went to town with it. She was doing everything.
Don't understand how Moff Gideon has the base built on Mandalore and nobody knows about it.
Well, because nobody went to Mandalore.
Right, but her...
Or other people
her building, like that castle or whatever, isn't that on the next moon?
It's on a moon.
Cordana or whatever?
Yeah, it's on a moon in the system, but sure,
So if you're living on our moon, you don't think that you'd see big-ass spaceships flying back and forth between a planet? That wouldn't strike you as odd? Oh, by the way,
but do you think
light
that
cruiser going...
You think they have a telescope up in the fucking sky? Somebody looking at it 24/7?
You know how much material it would take to build a base that size? You think it's going to be one, like, oh, there's just one little spaceship. He's making 14 million trips back and forth to the planet.
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
That's a huge ass construction project.
But think about you've seen Rebels. Like the Ghost can just slip into systems and slip blockades.
Right. Again, it's a shuttle.
I get it.
A shuttle is not building an entire underground cavern that has a fleet of advanced TIE fighters.
Maybe they had tons
and a cloning
shuttles.
Facility.
It is a TV show, Mike.
I understand, but this is my problem. You're asking me why I have a problem with this this episode, and it bothers me that everyone's like, "How the fuck did you just get this random base there?"
I'm bothered by Moff Gideon randomly getting away and nobody caring from the rebel side. Like
what?
Nobody followed up on this transport of him.
I think that's because they have.
It's classified.
Well, no, and I think it's because they've infiltrated the New Republic. I think that's been made pretty clear by all the agents we've seen thus far.
By the way, fuck that episode that was all about the undercover agents in the Republic.
I thought that was cool, too. I like seeing different parts of Coruscant.
Yeah, but do break it up into an episode with other things that are going on. Why do we have one whole episode dedicated to this?
Because you just get it all done in one episode.
I mean, they do that a lot. There was the Mandalorian episode in Boba Fett.
Yeah, which was the best episode of
I get it,
Boba
but that's what I'm
Fett.
saying. It didn't have any... You're like, what the fuck? Show's called Boba Fett. You don't even see him.
Yeah, but I was okay with that because that was good.
I agree.
That was
Boba Fett kind of sucked.
But it does lead you to kind of see that there are still, like, Imperial remnants all throughout the New Republic, which if you are a like hardcore Star Wars fan, you already know that there's quote unquote Imperial remnants. If you play the games, they mention it. They have like Operation Cinder.
Well,
after
this is setting up the First Order,
right?
Unfortunately, I wish it was just the Imperial remnant, like they had the Imperial remnant section of space for years and years after the New Republic, but that's not canon anymore. So now it's just they retreated back into space and create the First Order, and then we get Andy Serkis as Snoke, who dies for like in 2 seconds in a movie.
Yeah, he does. He makes it through.
I hate when they do that. They did it with Count Dooku in Revenge of the Sith too. Main antagonist from the second movie, and like 5 minutes into the third movie, he's killed. And there's no like build up to it. They have a quick fight, and then the Emperor's just like
sounds like
and he's like, okay.
Hobbit. The second and third movie. Whole main villain of the second movie is the dragon, Schmaug. and then third movie dies in the first 5 minutes.
At least with those movies, they're direct continuations. There's no time jump between them. The second one, he's flying out. Between Attack of the Clones and the third, a shit ton of stuff's happened, and we didn't see it. Now, if they didn't make the Clone Wars TV show, I'd be more upset about it. But now I get to see all the background stories.
Right. So. If you're in episode 7, and it ends with him going into Snoke's throne room, and then 8 started and they fight him and kill him, I could understand that. And then in episode 7, they flesh out Snoke a little bit more, either make him more or less important. Then I could understand this. Like you say, like same thing with like Smaug. You see him a lot, and then like you see him flying, and then the next thing you see is he's burning the town. So no time has passed.
Okay. Well, I will say, I think the reason that they did that in 8 was to try to make high pants nipples guy Driver be like
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, be more of a, because you're supposed to think Snoke is the big bad, and then now it's Kylo. Like it was supposed to be a way to thrust him in.
Even.
I understand, but that was their point of doing it. Is being like, he's so big and bad that he was able to kill the big bad, so now he's bigger than the big bad. It just didn't land. I hated that part.
The one thing I liked about this season of Mandalorian the most, though, was you got to see the Praetorian Guard not be pussies. Because they literally get their ass kicked in every other instance of film. So you have them in Revenge of the Sith, and I know Yoda's powerful, but he literally walks in and just like knocks them down. And that's like, they suck. And then you have them in Last Jedi and Rey and
to be
Kylo
fair,
Ren
it's
just
fucking
rip them
Yoda,
apart.
though. Like,
even so, they're supposed to... Aren't the Praetorian Guards supposed to be, like, resistant to the Force? Like, you can't use the Force on them directly? I thought there was something special about...
I think that they're just trained in hand-to-hand combat against Jedi, because they use vibroblades.
Yeah.
Dude, it was cool watching. I don't think that they're prone to force push. I mean, Jedi aren't prone to force push. Like when Anakin and Obi-Wan fight, they like try to push each other.
Don't even. That's the dumbest thing.
And then, again, like
so
it happens.
Stupid. That's my least favorite part of it.
When they're like trying to touch each other's hands.
They're like hands are just so close. Just want to high five and I can't. Yeah. So
again, like Jedi aren't even prone to their own to force push.
It's funny because people, I've been looking at rating lists of Star Wars stuff lately, and people put Revenge of the Sith as like the best Star Wars movie, and it boggles my mind.
What?
I understand.
What list are you looking at? You sure you're not on like The Onion or something?
No, like when you're on TikTok or something and people are ranking their lists, and I constantly see Revenge of the Sith at the top. Now, after that, it gets more sensible, and you have, like, most people put Empire Strikes Back next.
Empire Strikes Back is the best one.
My favorite is Star
New
Wars.
Hope, because it started the franchise.
Well, and I just like the story.
It is a good movie, but for me, it's the second favorite.
Start to finish, I just like it the most, like the story-wise. But
Empire Strikes Back is a better story, like, from the actual story, if you look at it.
Mine would be A New Hope, Empire, Rogue One.
There's a lot of people that don't like Rogue One.
Oh, you put New Hope first?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm usually the only one in that boat.
No, New Hope is definitely second.
My one problem with Empire is that it doesn't feel like a complete story.
It's not supposed to.
Right, but again, like that doesn't make for a good standalone movie. It's good in the storyline. It follows it very well. Like it's a good.
But you think A New Hope doesn't have?
If A New Hope, if it was the only movie, could be start to finish.
No, it could not. What are you gonna do with Darth Vader? He just fucking floats off.
Okay, he dies in his spaceship.
No, he's the biggest bad that there is, and he's just gone. But everybody else is like, "Oh, look, we blew the Death Star," but our main villain is still out there. Like, no, there's definitely sets up more.
It could have been a standalone movie, though.
Not with that.
Sure,
not with that
it'll have loopholes or whatever you want to call them.
I mean, that's the main big bad. Like, that's not even a small little piece that you could then build for the future. That's a main fucking thing. So to have that...
He lands on a planet and redeems himself.
All right,
Fuck people
I'm actually
redeeming
interested.
themselves.
I know it's a little off the Mandalorian topic, but rank your favorite Star Wars movies from favorite to least favorite.
We've done this, but
Let's do it again.
okay.
I don't remember listing them all.
I think we more or less all
Just said what
decided
our
that
favorite is.
yeah, which was New Hope for you guys and Empire for me, followed by A New Hope, and you guys have Empire second.
Yeah.
And then sounds like Mike's got Rogue as the third one.
Yep.
For
I like
me,
Solo too.
I do like Solo.
Oh, Solo,
no
I
one
fucking
else does,
hate it.
but I do.
Solo's way down on the list.
I watched it again today. I
Skip
liked
the
it.
first 10 minutes of Solo, and it's actually pretty good.
No.
But it's not my third favorite. My third favorite, honestly, is probably Return of the Jedi. I know it's got some, jokey, kind of like the Ewoks are a little comic relief, but...
Yeah, that's probably lower on mine.
But, I mean, it's still really good. Like, the Battle of Endor is good. You got...
I think Rogue One is a better story than that, though.
Yes, but when I think of it's what movie did I enjoy the most, and even though I think Rogue One does have a better story, I didn't enjoy it as much as
I would have
Return of
loved
the
to
Jedi.
see Rogue One
Rogue
without
One is very
knowing what
gritty,
happens,
which is why I like it so much.
Yes.
I really liked Rogue One at the last scene of Rogue One with Darth Vader, or that scene. Was amazing.
Well, then
it
just
was hard.
built into
That's
it.
some of the best Star Wars scene I've seen, but at the same time, the movie itself, part of the reason is I don't like Andor, and I kind of like the series, but I really just don't like him as a character. I never get invested in him. What?
There were other characters there.
I know, but he's one of the main ones.
Keep in mind, the cinematics of that story are made so you don't invest yourself in the
because
characters.
you know what's going to happen.
Because they all die.
They succeeded.
But I would have loved to see that movie without knowing how it's going to end.
I don't know what you want to call undertones of the movie are more to make them feel like martyrs than they are heroes.
So, speaking of Rogue One, and I guess maybe just start. So in Mandalorian, though, when they had the Council of Imperial officers, remnant, whatever you want to call them.
Yep, one of them was Hux.
Yeah, well, it was his father.
Yeah,
and it's played by his brother, which I thought was kind of funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just didn't know if you noticed that. And then the other thing I just saw watching Rebels, and somebody had pointed this out online, so when I got to that episode, I was like, oh yeah. But there's that episode of Rebels where they find this. Well, it's when Ezra finds the portal to not time travel. Basically.
I gotcha, yeah.
But on the wall they have all those cave paintings, and there's a painting. It's supposed to be the stories of the future yet to come, prophecies. And there's a painting of a little Yoda-like creature, and then two people standing on either side of him, and one of them looks like he could be the Mandalorian.
No shit.
And that series came out a while ago, so people are like, did they really plan? And Dave Filoni would be one of those to plan that far ahead.
Well, not necessarily plan, but then
or
you
have
look
it in
at
mind.
Have it in mind.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things
they probably
TV shows.
They probably have stories written out so far.
Well, they have, hundreds of books they could go off of if they really wanted to, but they called that all legends now, and it's not canon. That's what I know. I've probably said this before, but that's what annoys me the most is they had all these great stories. New Jedi Order book series would have been an amazing. It actually would be a better TV series because there's just so much. You could have 9 seasons of it, and instead they just get rid of all that and then just cherry pick things they want from the stories. We like that they had a son, and or we like they're introducing.
Do they
Thrawn
own the
again.
rights to them? I feel we've had this conversation before, but do they own the rights to those books?
Yes.
Okay.
They could adapt those anytime they wanted. That's right. They had licensed the books to be able to be written, and then now they're telling, well, it's not canon. And Timothy Zahn, who wrote Heir to the Empire, the Hand of Thrawn trilogy, he created Admiral Thrawn, who we're now going to see. And when they told him, well, now those aren't canon, he then rewrote another book for them in canon that is all about Thrawn. But it's just stupid to me that you already had the character. You're going to make him rewrite another book about it?
You have Shadows of the Empire, which should have been a really good movie or a series or whatever. Like, Dash Rendar is a fucking great character.
Yeah, but the Hand of Thrawn series was literally a New York Times bestseller and like revitalized Star Wars before the prequels were even made. And they just ignored it. I don't know. It pissed me off. I hope they do some series that are based on legends, but I doubt they will. Like, just go, like the MCU has movies that aren't part of the MCU kind of thing. Or I should say Marvel has movies that aren't part of the MCU. Although now everything's going to be part of it. Like, I'm multiverse.
Again, I'm glad to see like a lot of the stuff like from The Mandalorian that you see. A lot of it came from Rebels.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't seen Rebels, you like some of this stuff like seems new. Like Bo-Katan's ship. You see that a lot in Rebels. I mean, she brings Obi-Wan in it like a couple places.
Yeah.
You see the Lothcats in season 2 of The Mandalorian. From Lothal. I mean, there's a bunch of different like things.
We're gonna see Ezra, and we're gonna see Sabine.
Yeah, Sabine.
And we saw not Rex. Zeb.
Zeb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hera is in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole Ghost crew. The Phantom 2, which you don't realize it's the Phantom 2 because the Phantom first one actually gets destroyed.
Yeah.
So, for Mandalorian Season 3, what did we think about the characters? They didn't really introduce many new characters. What did you guys...
Mandalorian characters, I
yes,
guess. Yeah.
But then they brought back, obviously, a few different people from the old days.
Did you see the theory that the armor was, like, a traitor?
That the armor was a traitor?
Yeah. So when you see Moff Gideon's helmet when he lands in the
he has all the spikes on it.
He has the Mandalorian style helmet with spikes.
So
and her helmet always had those spikes too. And so they were saying, so when Darth Maul from the first movie there, the first prequel,
becomes the leader of Mandalore.
Phantom Menace. Yeah, he becomes a wielder of the Darksaber and therefore is the leader of Mandalore for some time.
Is this after the events of this season?
No, this is
way
before.
before.
It's before,
Yeah.
okay.
This is before the Purge.
So
Gotcha.
Some Mandalorians who served him had, armor is augmented in that way. So you see those horns like he had.
The Death Watch.
Yeah.
Well, that's the symbol of the Death Watch.
Is the horns?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had the guy that had the machine gun. The big guy that dies.
Vizsla or something.
Yeah, Vizsla. So pre-Vizsla was the leader of the Death Watch, who is the person that went against.
Maul challenged him for the Darksaber, right? Yeah, and he killed him.
But they were all exiled to Concordia.
Right. Yeah.
So the Death Watch originally was from Concordia. So they're of the tribe that they don't take off their helmets. They're very tribal, and so the armor would have been theoretically a Death Watch from Concordia. And then again, same thing. The Vizsla is from that same line. He'd have been like a high general or prince or something.
So the theory was that was the case because she convinces Bo-Katan to go gather all the Mandalorians and try to retake, like all go at once. And Moff Gideon's just there waiting and it's a trap.
Except doesn't she help fight?
She does. Yeah, that's true. But she also, remember when she leaves first, she's like, I'll go get reinforcements.
Yeah.
And
she does.
I understand she does, but they were also, the idea I think was that they would have been dead because they were left to fight, against bad odds, but they just win.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a stretch because of what transpired.
I do too, but it'd be interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
It's more likely that he just saw the Death Watch armor and really liked it.
I like this. This looks cool.
Yeah.
It's mine now.
Because like I said, the leader of the House Vizsla had really cool like the spiked armor.
Yeah. So what about the did you like the new Mandalorian characters? Like, did they, or do any of them even stand out, really?
Yeah, I don't even really remember them. They're not very meaningful, so.
And what about, God, what's his name? The new, like, leader or mayor of that planet.
Carl Weathers?
Carl Weathers, yep.
You throw that bone in a pot and add some water, you got some soup.
But like he directed, I think, that first or second episode too. Yeah. But he was okay coming back.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah. I felt like his character has grown since the first season, which is good. That it's like more of a character arc for him. But I don't think we saw really, besides for Bo-Katan and then the other Mandalorians, we didn't really get the other people. We got to meet some new characters with Jack Black and Lizzo, and I hated that episode. Yeah. It was so bad.
So dumb.
Yeah.
There was also the theory, too, I don't know if you saw that wasn't Moff Gideon that dies.
So he's a clone?
Yeah, because he didn't have a mustache, and he had a mustache before. And if you look in the clone chambers, none of them had mustaches either.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just so arbitrary to me, the mustache.
Well, it's also, Jesus Christ, how many times are they going to have Moff be the bad guy?
I hope no more. I hope he's just gone.
Well, not if he's a clone.
Well, I assume they're introducing Thrawn and Ahsoka. Like, I feel like that's already been established. And if they do, Moff Gideon's pointless because
speaking of
Thrawn is...
Well, Mike spell Ahsoka.
Yeah, it's weird.
Asohka.
Nope. So I thought it was Ashoka, but it's actually Ahsoka.
Yeah,
it's Ahsoka, which actually, if you phonetically pronounce it, makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I would be spelling Ashoka.
Moff Gideon also would be the only one that's like standing in the way of Thrawn being...
This is the
Not
way.
Really, because all those guys...
He says it in the thing. He's like, we don't really need him. I challenge him.
Yeah, but
we haven't seen him.
All those guys that were in the thing, like they all, like he had to request resources from them. So it's not like he's the leader of all those people.
Right, but again, he's like requesting that he leads it.
Well,
he's like,
he's
we haven't seen him,
resources to take out the Mandalorians.
He's saying that we need new leadership. And the other people are like, yeah, probably.
But not him.
Well, we didn't really get that far.
Jon Favreau wrote a lot of these episodes.
Yeah. Jon Favreau is an American treasure.
I do like those.
Not only did he create this to make up for those awful sequels, but yes, he started the MCU.
Well,
he started the MCU.
Well, it depends what you talk about for starting the MCU.
If there was
no Blade, there never would have been a chance for Iron Man.
If there's no Iron Man, there's no MCU.
Yeah, but I still pay credit to Blade.
No, why wouldn't you pay credit to Spider-Man?
Because Spider-Man was Sony, not Marvel doing its own thing.
It's also not in the MCU, right?
Well, Blade and Spider-Man technically were not in the MCU, right. Except now they are. Well, Blade not, but Spider-Man now is.
But Blade did not lead in any way to the MCU other than it was a successful franchise.
Successful franchise and movie in general,
Spider-Man
and nobody
was
else
more
was going
successful.
To. Yeah, but I think, wasn't Blade first?
Yeah.
Before Spider-Man?
Yeah, wasn't it?
It could be.
Well,
I do think Blade was late 90s. I don't remember when Spider-Man came out.
1998 for Blade.
Yeah, that's funny. I was going to guess that.
Spider-Man, 2002. So 4 years
later. But Spider-Man made a boatload of money.
So, yes, especially compared to Blade. Like, it made more money than Blade. But if Blade failed, I don't know if they do Spider-Man.
I don't know, because
so.
Blade was not a superhero movie. They're different. I understand they're both comic based, but that's like saying, what's another comic book movie like that's not superhero based? I'm blanking. There are plenty of them.
Batman.
Fuck you.
He's a vigilante, not a superhero.
Yeah. No,
Inspector Gadget.
But they're just different, is what my point is. Like, they're not apples to apples.
Sure, but it's Marvel.
I get it, but Spider-Man's what drove, oh shit, look how much money that superhero movie made. We need to make more superhero movies.
And then everybody got greedy and they went, how many villains and how many superheroes can we throw into one movie?
Yeah.
Ugh. But it did eventually give us Spider-Man No Way Home. Like,
which has all the villains and all the
and I'm so fucking... And they did it well. It's not...
How many Spider-Man can we get? At least 3.
Perfect movie, but it's damn good.
Yeah, it's okay.
How dare you?
We need Spider-Gwen.
Well, we get her coming soon in June or July when the second Into the Spider-Verse movie comes.
Spider-Verse.
All right, so what do we think about Grogu in this season?
He's fine. I get tired of watching him walk. It looks so stupid. I know they actually puppeted him.
I think
yes.
You know what I was talking about?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god. We talked about it in the last
It ruined that part of the episode for me, too.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Did you... Okay, at the very end of Mandalorian in season 3, when he walks towards the end
He's
anyway,
running around like the lights or something at the top.
No, it's when he walks into the bar. That bar where they grab that helmet that ends up being G11 or whatever, or IG11.
Well, he does the same thing when he's running around, like trying to escape the Praetorian Guard.
Oh,
he's like running around the top. He's like,
oh, and they're stabbing up at him. Yeah,
he's
but
like,
dude, when he fights that kid, it was stupid too. He's like waddling up like a penguin.
Well, no. If you go watch this exact moment I'm talking about, when he walks into the bar, you've seen Team America World Police.
Yes, yeah.
That's what it looks like with his feet.
That's what it looks like when he's walking at any point. It's so ridiculous.
No, because I always see him like waddle. But in this one particularly, his legs are doing this fucking weird thing. I literally couldn't stop laughing. It's so funny.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost at the point where like I'd rather them just CGI it, but I know they're trying to, be true to the original roots of Star Wars and use
practical effects. Yeah,
because people had such a bad reviews about the first 3 movies because of the amount of CGI.
The prequels, you mean?
Not just the amount, just the way it looked too. Like,
it was early CGI. I don't know what people expected.
Well, I mean, it looked worse than the shit that was in the 70s.
No, it didn't.
It did.
The stuff in the 70s is like limited CGI.
I know,
like, the only thing that was
they
CGI
did
was
it
like
practical,
the blasters,
and it looked better than what they did in
the
CGI.
Stuff in the 70s was like barely CGI.
That's what I'm saying.
I understand they used practical effects, and that looked better than them using CGI.
Right,
I understand, but you can't use CGI for like if you want Yoda to do anything more than die in his bed, then you need to use CGI because it's not going to look that great.
No, he could be in a backpack on Luke's back and be fine.
He has to be maintained
But again,
by
to be
somebody
fair,
else.
like the Yoda in episode 3 when he's fighting...
2.
In episode 3 when he's fighting...
Revenge. Yeah, okay.
Dooku.
Like, he doesn't look good.
Yeah,
like when he's holding up the lightsaber and he does like the squinty face. It's just and he's like, it's just like okay, it's
no. I just think they made stupid decisions with his characters in those movies. I didn't mind the CGI personally. I thought it was fine, but I did not like the whole. It will never make sense to me. People are like, well, he just knew he couldn't win, but like he's fighting Palpatine and it's pretty evenly matched, and then they both knock each other down once, and he like falls down a little ways, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm out of here. I can't just wave my hand and win. Like, oh, I'm done. I'm gonna go hide on a planet and make some young kid fight my battles."
Some time though.
What's that?
He fights him for a while.
Who cares?
I think he also felt the Force.
Is that the way of the Jedi? You 10 minutes in,
I think he felt the Force was ending because of everything else that was going on.
Yeah, he's also.
What do you mean?
He's also feeling all of.
We're talking about the third movie, right?
You're talking about all the Jedi being killed.
Yes,
he had already felt that.
Yeah, I know. And then
they're
when
slaughtering all of the people at the Jedi Temple while this is going on, like hunting them down.
No, the Jedi Temple had already been scourged by that point.
They're still hunting them down.
Oh, across the galaxy? Sure, they're going to be hunting them down for years.
But Order 66 is like still like I'm sure it weighs a lot on him as it goes.
And if he can't defeat this guy, and even if it's evenly matched, it's always going to be evenly matched. If you feel everybody dying and you're like, even if this is 100% even right now, as soon as somebody else comes to help him, I'm dead.
Okay, so Obi-Wan, go kill the guy who is like your son / your brother. But while I'm going to give up 5 minutes in, like, that's bullcrap.
He had the high ground.
Oh, that's true. Palpatine did have the high ground in that when he ran, too. Maybe he just knew something. Yeah,
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm okay with it.
Just need that little bit more explanation.
I don't love the fact that he kills... who's the guy with, like, the tentacle things with the big black eyes?
Kit Fisto.
Yeah, like, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Done. Like... Jedi Master, supposedly really good swordsman, dies.
Well, and Palpatine's not really supposed to be like an amazing swordsman either. They're just kind
I still feel like every time they do that, it's just supposed to elevate them. Like, because if they're a big bad and you can kill them quickly, you're even bigger and badder.
You want to talk about horrible scenes? It's the scene in his chambers when that fight's going on, and it keeps flashing to, like, they obviously had a stunt double for Ian McDermott, who plays the Emperor because he's older. But then it would flash back to him and he'd make these hilarious looking faces as he was going to, like, yeah, it looks so fucking dumb. Oh, that whole movie had so many shitty parts.
Right, well, we're going to jump back to Mandalorian
and go, shitty parts. No,
what do you guys want from a season 4 if there's a season 4?
I want a suit for Grogu.
Like a Mandalorian suit? It's gonna look ridiculous.
No,
I thought we were gonna get one this year. To be honest,
well, they kind of did.
They just gave him like the
a little medallion to put on his chest.
So I'm thinking like kind of like a face
little.
mask.
It basically takes up his whole fucking chest.
It's still little. It's just big compared to him.
I'm thinking like a face mask that they have like on. Who's the guy from the MCU that like blows shit up? It's got the crossbones. Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like a
Frank
helmet
something.
style like that.
You really want him to waddle in like Team America and have a Mandalorian helmet
Well, by
on.
then, like I'm assuming in episode 4, he'll be grown up a little bit more.
Season 4. And
season 4.
I don't know. They had season 1, 2, 3, and he's almost the exact same size.
Right, but we could skip
we gotta
some
wait.
time.
Yeah, I don't know how long.
We gotta wait another
150
years probably for him to grow up more than he is.
Never know.
Because he's supposed to be like 50 something in this series.
Yeah.
I thought he was supposed to be older than that by now.
Maybe he hits a growth spurt. I also want to see him trying to find a lightsaber.
Well, didn't Luke give him a lightsaber?
He had the choice.
Right, and he didn't take it.
Yeah, right. He wanted to go back with
Din
Djarin.
He has the armor on underneath. He has like the chainmail.
Yep.
And then he has the crest, the little coin that takes up
his
entire
his
entire chest.
Size of him. You think they would have scaled that down for him? No. All right.
She only got one hammer. Like, do you see her pulling out little hammers? No, everything is shaped by this one hammer.
It's too good. What about you, Corey? What do you want for season 4?
I want to see more of their life on that homestead and like maybe see another hammock get built for Grogu.
Do some farming.
Yeah.
Pick the carrots.
No, I don't really know because it kind of depends if he's going to interact more with the story with Ezra Bridger and Ahsoka, then I want to see that. If he's not, then I guess back to like a standalone episodic series. But then that will get old too because their shtick was getting a little old without having a backstory, and it was basically like we go to a planet for like milk. Oh, hey, while we're here, there's some bad guy who's been like terrorizing people. Oh, I'll help. Oh, I got my milk, and then he leaves. But that's literally the first season.
Well, I mean, there is a story in the first season in the sense of that that he's supposed to be delivering this child.
I get it, but I'm just saying the episodic nature of the first season, the reason why he's on planets was always fucking arbitrary.
Yeah.
And then he'd always get there.
Although that felt like a very throwback thing for 60s, 70s, 80s television. It was always something random of why somebody was doing something.
Yeah. I want to see more of did he die, Timothy Oliphant's character?
Yes.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, he died. Well, no, because did you watch the post-credit scene of Boba Fett?
Yes.
Clearly not.
Well, I don't remember it, but yes,
okay.
I watched it.
So Timothy Oliphant dies in Boba Fett.
Yeah. By
the blue guy that's got like gills or something, whatever his name. He's like a
The bounty
gunslinger
hunter.
guy.
Oh, yeah, Cad Bane.
Cad
Yeah,
Bane.
Cad
But
Bane.
I thought he didn't actually.
No,
die.
he dies there, but then at the very end, you see him in a tank.
Yeah. Well,
but it doesn't look.
That means he's not dead.
It doesn't look like it's a good tank, though. Like, it looks like it's a tank to heal him, but it might be healing him, not like the good side is healing him. Like, I don't know if the Empire took him or if whatever. Like, it didn't look like.
I want to see more of him if he's not dead, which he isn't if he's in a Bacta tank.
Right, but he might be coming back evil, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll accept
Maybe
it.
the techno people got him.
Yeah, I don't know who
have
got
a
him.
built-in scooter.
Because I don't feel like that reveal if it's
What
something
was his
just
name?
good.
Do anyone remember?
I don't remember.
The officer?
Well, yeah,
Timothy
Olyphant.
Olyphant's character's name. He was the sheriff of the good town or whatever the fuck
The
that place is
marshal,
called.
yeah.
Yeah,
The Marshal, yeah.
If only somebody had a computer.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Well, I just wanted to see if maybe he's like a character. I didn't really think about his name so much before, but maybe his name is relevant to something from Legends.
I do not know, but we will find out
Marshall
together.
body target.
I feel like his name should be Marshall.
Marshall
Timothy
Mathers?
Olyphant, the actor behind Cobb Vanth.
Cobb Vance, yeah.
Cobb Vanth?
Cobb Vanth.
Yeah.
Bob Vance. Vance Refrigeration? No?
I'm
All right.
Cobb Vanth. Vanth moisturization. Because he was out of moisture for
Corn on the cob.
So before we wrap this thing up, we do have a new video game that comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I'm skipping all that stuff tomorrow then.
Survivor.
And what
that.
stuff tomorrow?
All that fun
The
stuff.
fuck
with
you
Tom.
are.
Gotta play Star Wars.
What fun stuff?
We're going to do lunch with a buddy of ours who's moving, and then we're going to do a podcast episode on escape rooms, which will air when you and I are gone. That week, like in June.
In
we're
June?
going. Yeah.
You're taping an episode for June?
Or if we have another episode we don't have time to tape, then we have like
Just
a
throw it
backup
in there?
episode.
A
Yeah.
Throw in there?
That's my plan. It's always good to have one in the tank. But he's moving to Buffalo, and I always wanted to grab him for an episode about podcasts. So we're gonna grab him tomorrow. And nice face.
And then we're playing poker.
And then we're doing poker tomorrow night. Yeah.
Who's coming to poker?
You, me, Richard, Bill, Tom,
Oh,
Dylan's a
you
neighbor.
invited, like, I just didn't know if you reached out to the normal monthly crew.
Yeah, this is the monthly game. It's the end of the month.
I didn't know.
You didn't know it was the end of the month?
I didn't. Well, to be fair, is it always the end of the month? I know that's what we aim for, but it's
Yeah.
not always. So
It's
that's-
nearly always unless we change something up.
Well,
'cause
it hasn't been
Sometimes,
Nick comes to visit.
sometimes you cycle early, sometimes it's a little
That's
bit late.
true.
But
KJ's always cycling.
yeah,
That's fair.
it comes around the same time of the month.
Yeah.
every day.
So it comes around the same time of the month.
KJ
every
has
day.
inverse menstruation, where he's only pleasure to be around 2 or 3 days a month.
I accept this. But
I
anyway,
don't.
so did you already pre-order the game?
Yeah,
and
it's
I
already
pre-ordered
installed.
it, and I don't know. It doesn't sound like you are. Are you gonna wait to hear about it afterwards? Or are you not even gonna get it? Or are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
hope it
spoil
eventually
it.
comes to
That's
Game
fine.
Pass?
I don't know. I'll probably will buy it. I'm sure.
It's Star
I'll
Wars.
probably get pressured into it.
It'll be pressure. I liked the first one. Like I had plenty
I
to do
don't
with it.
know
It felt
why
like it was
one
I'm
has
fun.
not
a
looking
blaster.
forward to this one.
What's that?
This one has a blaster.
Oh, does it?
You can force lift people and then shoot them.
I also don't like the character.
Ugh.
What? Really?
No.
Oh, I like the character.
Cal Kestis.
I would love
Yeah.
to see this as a live action.
I don't like the actor.
Oh, he's gonna be a live
You
action.
don't like the
player.
actor?
No.
Oh, he's so good in this.
And
And,
then
Shameless.
I
and
didn't-
Gotham.
it plays the Joker in Gotham.
I didn't love all the like side characters in the first episode and the first game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you got to meet what's his
I
face.
think
right?
the
Is it
best
right?
part-
Whitaker, Forrest Whitaker is in the first game, right?
As who?
The same guy he's in Star Wars. I can't remember his
Darth
name.
Maul?
Forrest Whitaker?
Oh, Forrest Whitaker. Sorry, I was thinking of Witwer.
Oh,
Sam Witwer.
Yeah, that's a completely different name.
Well, he does voice acting.
Yes.
So, Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, like he's in the game, so you get to see him. That's kind of cool.
I hate that character.
All right.
I
I
just Saw
think
Gerrera's
the best
character
part of
drives
the
me
whole
nuts.
game
He's
is
just not very-
BD1.
Yeah, that's true, dude. I bet the
Like-
Lego set for BD1's really cool. But
I have
built
it.
It looks really good.
It does look good. I haven't even built it yet.
Oh, it's fun.
It's like 1,100 pieces,
Yeah,
and it's like true size.
yeah, it's pretty big. I got it in my. I bought a lot more of the
Did you build
helmets
it?
now too. Yep. I got Bosk, not Bosk. How do you Bush? Leia.
You got Bush. Good
Leia,
for you.
No, Leia. How do you say Leia when she's pretending to be like the bounty hunter? Bosch. It's like Boushh or something. Boosh.
I don't know.
It's just Leia, but she's got the fucking mask on. Remember when she goes to help Han?
Yeah, I get it. I don't know what the race is.
Well, no, it's not a race. It's just like who she's pretending to be, I think.
Well, Bosk is the lizard guy.
It's not Bosk. I know. That's why I said that, and I was wrong. It's like Boosh or Bosch or something.
Because she's holding a thermal detonator.
Boushh.
Yeah, that's what I said. I just don't know how to pronounce it.
Boushh.
Yeah, Boushh was a male Ubis from Uba 4 who worked as a bounty hunter.
And she pretends to be.
Detonator.
Yeah, but they had that mask one, so I have that one now too.
So I meant to bring this up earlier.
As a Lego set?
Yeah, so they have busts like for faces.
Yeah.
And I got that one. I got Commander Cody. I got Rex. I got Darth Vader.
Do you have the Mandalorian?
I don't have Boba Fett.
I do have Boba Fett.
Yeah,
but that's the only one I do have.
I could have bought it a while ago, and I thought I already had it, so I didn't buy it. I was like, God damn it.
Shit.
I have a Scout Trooper.
Yeah. Vader,
yeah.
Regular Stormtrooper.
Red 5 helmet.
Red 5?
Well, Luke Skywalker's helmet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
and then I have Marvel ones, too.
Enough about Legos. Did you guys hear they're doing new Star Wars movies? 3 of them.
Yeah, so it's gonna continue as Rey as like the...
That's one of the movies.
She's setting up the Jedi Academy, basically.
Yeah,
she's
that's
like,
one of them.
Yeah, I heard about them all, but what are the other?
So, one of the movies is going to go back to the Dawn of the Jedi. Dave Filoni's movie will focus on the New Republic and close out the interconnected stories told in Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and other Disney Plus series. And then the third one will be set after the events of Rise of Skywalker and will feature Rey as she builds the new Jedi Order.
Stupid.
So we are getting 3 new movies, and who knows?
Rey.
As long as they're like straight to Disney, that'd be fine.
No, but they're too much of a cash cow. They're gonna release that shit in theaters.
I'm more excited for the series that are coming out. Like Acolyte sounds really good.
I thought Skeleton Crew kind of sounded cool.
Skeleton Crew sounds cool, and that's with
yes,
that guy
McGregor?
Cillian Murphy.
Killian,
the guy from
that's not the main guy.
The Peaky Blinders.
Yeah,
and the Scarecrow from Batman Begins.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
he's gonna be in that.
I think that's who it is. Or is it Jude Law? I might be mixing.
Jude Law.
I'm mixing them up. They kind of look alike. They do look alike.
Nope.
Yeah, I also agree. Nope.
Definitely nope.
Cillian Murphy and Jude Law definitely look a little alike.
Not even.
I'm not saying they could be twins, but
I don't think they could be the same race.
No, they're not even close.
You don't think he looks even a little bit like Jude Law?
No, I'm looking at both pictures.
I know what they both look like. I've seen all the episodes of Peaky Blinders.
Not even close. The viewers or the listeners can tell us how wrong Corey is. But let's wrap this thing up. So, Corey, final thoughts, Mandalorian, Star Wars in general. What do we got?
Good.
Okay, moving on.
Well,
Mike, we got final thoughts, Mandalorian,
Corey,
Star Wars. What do we got?
Everything about Star Wars. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I liked the newest season. It gave a lot of information. Again, like more Star Wars backstory, which I always like to have, kind of fills in the gaps. It didn't blow me away. So I had higher expectations for it than I got out of it, but like I don't regret watching it. It's just not something I probably will go back and like rewatch.
Yeah, and I think for me, I was definitely, it lived up to my expectations because they weren't that high, just based on the fact of I wasn't sure what they were going to do with this third season with Baby Yoda, Grogu, going back, or basically the mission for him for the first 2 seasons being succeeded, and then him picking to go back to the Mandalorian. Like, I wasn't sure what this third season was going to be. It did feel a little bit aimless. I hated the villain just because it was the same villain. there was certain part, like I thought it was just going to be something bigger. I understand that for their religion / race, that what's that creature called? The one that was in the water? Yeah. Meant something to them, but it was kind of meh. Like, it didn't really matter too much. She saw it, and that's what made them think that they should get back together in the religion. Like, that part to me didn't really land.
So, the mythosaur, like, the religion is like it would only present itself to, like, the most esteemed.
But it wasn't presented at all. It's just fucking sleeping in the water.
Yeah. But they're, like, super elusive.
It's sleeping.
Yeah.
It's not like you went out to try to find it. This bitch was sleeping. But it would
know that you're there before you ever knew that it was there.
I don't know. It seemed to be dazed off and enjoying its slumber.
Yeah. Didn't care.
Yeah, I guess. But, yeah, so that part didn't land. But I would be excited for season 4. I would be more excited for an episodic type of thing rather than... I mean, there needs to be an overarching story, but I didn't... I liked the two of them getting into trouble and stuff, both the Mandalorian and Grogu, and then meeting these other characters, because I was a huge fan of Gina Carano when she was on the show.
Supposedly
I was a huge
she's
fan.
Coming back.
I did hear that too, but I don't know if that's official or not.
I hear.
And then I was a big fan of Bill Burr's character, who had more character development in like 2 episodes on Mandalorian than so many characters in the movies.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I like that part. So if we can get back to that, I'm all for it. And I would be kind of interested of what they're going to do with Grogu. If they're going to do full Mandalorian with him, if he's going to go off on his own and do more Jedi stuff or what, I don't know.
So the first Mandalorian was a Jedi. So that's kind of bring it back to the roots of that.
It's not that the first Mandalorian was a Jedi. It was that the Jedi who was a Mandalorian created the Darksaber.
But he became the first ruler of Mandalore.
Yeah, he might have, but he wasn't the first Mandalorian.
He just became their first ruler. He's like, I have this and I rule this.
Ruler. I think he just became the ruler because he led them with the Darksaber, and it became a status symbol for leadership. Because of him.
So the first leader of Mandalore was a Jedi.
I don't know that he was the first leader. He just was a leader of Mandalore.
Well, the first Mandalorian was Mandalore.
He was the only Mandalorian Jedi, though.
All right. Well, while we continue to debate this internally, we'll end the podcast. Next week is our 1-year episode, boys. It'll be episode 50, which is, a little bit of a milestone. 1 year, 50 episodes. We haven't decided on a topic yet. We talked about that before this one started airing. So we'll figure that out. We have some ideas. But yeah, we'll do the 1-year episode next week.